party over here. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm going to talk a little slow, give you guys each a second here to jump on. Oh, I should have gotten the table. The camera might wobble if we're too animated and it starts to shake. It's not us, I promise.
Let me put my chair on there. There, how's that?
There you go. Now we can do it. So thank you guys so much for joining. I'm so excited to introduce you to my guest today, Thom with Friends of Lackota Animal Sanctuary. And I'm so excited to have you guys learn more about what he does. Here's to a lovely episode.
Cheers.
Coffee's my love language.
Same. Yeah.
Today we are in Loveland, Colorado at Ziggy's Coffee with our cool background and guest appearance. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody's got to get their 15 minutes of fame.
Exactly. So it's a good start. So I met Thom here. Gosh, how long have I been here? I think a month, maybe a month ago.
It's been a minute.
A couple weeks, yeah. I got the opportunity to visit the sanctuary and see firsthand what Thom does, and it's pretty fabulous. But before we get into that, because we're going to wait for you guys to get on, so we're going to chat for a little bit. Where are you originally from?
Northern Colorado.
Yeah?
Yes.
Awesome.
I was born in Denver. I was raised in Northern Colorado. Spent a little bit of time in San Francisco, which was a complete disaster, and now I'm back.
San Francisco is an interesting city.
Say the least.
I went a couple years ago, and I feel like I went, saw all of the things, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, I've been there, seen it, done it, and I'm like, I don't really have any.
Yeah.
It was cool to see all of the tourist things, especially like I grew up watching Full House, so it was just like all of the San Francisco sites,
Yeah.
But it's definitely a little bit of a rough city.
A little bit.
For sure. So now you've settled in North Colorado, not Carolina. We're on the wrong coast.
We're not even on the coast.
I know. Just in the middle of it. It's my East Coast side of it coming out. So you've been surrounded by these like beautiful mountains like your entire life.
Yes.
Are you like
Pretty
an outdoors
much.
person? Do you like to hike and explore and all of the things?
No. We used to really like to take our horses up to the mountains and just go for rides and stuff like that. But Northern Colorado is full now, and to get your horse out on a trail or to find parking with such a huge trailer and a truck, almost impossible. So we don't even do that anymore. There's just a lot of people here now.
Yeah.
As opposed to when I was a kid, you could go on a trail and not see another person. And so, yeah.
So you got to experience it all like before it got kind of run over with the tourists and everyone else who wants, and all the Instagrammers that want to.
Yeah. Yeah. The 15 minutes of fame.
Right. They just like pop in front of everyone and like just take the pictures. I will say I did a national park tour a couple years ago. I was like working on different farms across the country, and I stopped into some national parks, and then I ended up being like one of those people because I had a really bad experience my first hike. Here I am, like Florida girl, thinking that I was good hiking like this like 9-mile hike around the lake, and then I kept seeing droppings, and there was like no one around, and the path was overgrown. I didn't have bear spray. I didn't think about any of it, and I was like, I am not meant to do this by myself.
I'm too pretty for this.
I was like, I don't want to die in the woods. I mean, I love being out there, but like my first experience with hiking was with a buddy of mine who was like an avid hiker. He does like the through hikes.
Yeah.
So like going with him, I felt super confident. So I was like, yeah, I could do this on my own. And then, like my very first hike on my own, it was like so scary. And I was like, this is not relaxing at all. Like, cause I was like smashing my trekking poles, like trying to make noise so that I wouldn't scare any animals and they wouldn't scare me. And it was, it was a little scary.
Nice.
But I am looking forward to checking out the Rocky Mountains. So you mentioned trailers when you explored everything outdoors. So have you always been around horses? You've grown up on a ranch?
So I grew up on a couple small farms here in Northern Colorado. My grandparents mostly, and my parents had a small farm, I guess you can call it. We had a few horses when I was growing up. And that was me. when I was young, I probably got my first horse at like, I don't know, 2 years old or something. My grandma, she always made sure that I had one. And so, yeah, I've always had horses, and Sam also, he's from a ranch, and he worked in the veterinarian field with large and small animals for 20 years. So we're both very experienced with animals.
Yeah. Sam is his husband,
Yes.
and you guys met where again?
We
I
met
just
on,
love it.
we met on the free version of plentyoffish.com, or the Plenty of Fish app. I don't know.
And you guys just celebrated how many years?
6 years.
6 years.
Last month we celebrated 6 years, and the funny thing about our story is we knew each other for a month before we got married, and we just took a trip to Mexico and came back, and we're like, yeah, we'll do it. We did. That day that we got married, everything shut down for COVID, and
So you really got a chance to know each other.
yes, yes, we got through that, so we can get through anything. And at that, we didn't even know each other, and you know, Sam has a child, and you know, that was rough. It was a rough adjustment because it was 2020, and
everything was
and so yeah.
That's awesome though, because it's like you guys got a chance to. It's almost like the what they do the TV shows on, right? Like the Love Is Blind, right? You meet the person, you marry, and then you get to know each other.
Yeah.
And you guys really had no choice but to get to know each other because
thank God it worked. I mean, yeah, thank God it worked.
That's awesome. So obviously,
he's a great guy.
And and I love it, and I know you think it's kind of funny, but I think it's just like there's hope for the rest of us that the dating apps like do work.
Yeah.
You got lucky. You found your person.
They do work.
Yeah, but it's a needle in a haystack situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not common.
Yeah.
We got lucky, just like you said. We got lucky.
So you both had a love for animals immediately, and that's, I'm sure, one of the many things that connected you guys together.
Yes.
And then, so at what point after your marriage did you decide to start an animal sanctuary?
So for many years, I had taken in animals that didn't have a home, that sort of thing, and I had mentioned to him previously that I wanted to have a nonprofit. I just wanted to start doing this, and but truth be told, I was too lazy to do any of the paperwork. Nobody wants to do that, right? And so just one day, he just decided to look into it, and it just happened. It just happened. Sam made it happen, basically. And so we created a board of directors, and that was 5 years ago. We're in our 6th year. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And
definitely,
so, what made you want to go down this route? Obviously, you've always been around animals. You love animals. Like there's a lot of different directions that you go with that. Obviously,
yes.
Right? You could do like a rescue or things like that, but you guys do something quite special and very specific.
Yeah.
For the animals.
So, we both love animals. Sam spent 20 years of his life helping them. Making them better, saving their lives, that sort of thing, and that's kind of where his comes from, and he has a background of things. We'll say I'll let him speak to that at another time, but
his story to tell.
He has his own story that's just as unique as anybody else, and so, but for me, when I was 13, I had rescued a horse. His name was Lackota, and he was ugly. He really was ugly. He was scrawny. He was mean. He was everything that nobody ever wanted, and he was disabled. And I had my heart set on it. I found out that he was going to the auction, which meant he was going to be slaughtered. Nobody was going to pick him up, right? So at 13, when I set out to get a new horse, my parents tried really hard to convince me to get the big, beautiful paint horse, get this, get that. No, I wanted the ugly, skinny one that nobody
That
wanted.
like no one else wanted.
Right. And so it took a lot of doing. My parents said no for a minute, and then my grandmother said yes.
Mm-hmm.
Got him. And so, back at that time, the slaughterhouses were open in the U.S. This was back in, God, 96 or 97. I don't even remember. And so he would have been a direct ship, I guess. I don't know what they would call it back then, but and so I literally saved him from the kill truck, and I was told he was never going to live a good life. I'd never be able to ride him, all of these negative things. And one of my veterinarians back then had even recommended I just send him to the auction and get my
Let
money.
him go, and yeah.
And so, at 13, I worked my first job. I made $50 on Friday night and $50 on Saturday morning to buy him.
Nice.
And so, and that to me, that just it was never going to happen, right? He was. I fought to keep him over the years. He was a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
And he lived with me for 31 years.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. And
you gave him like 31 years.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
I rode him. I took him to horse shows.
Yeah.
He still wasn't the most pretty horse, wasn't the fastest, wasn't the most graceful, but he filled my cup.
Yeah.
Right. And so so he did get to a place where he just wasn't himself anymore. He sorry, I get a little
Mm-hmm.
emotional, but he he started dropping weight a lot. He had a lot of dementia symptoms, and he would just walk right through a fence and get all cut up, and and so we let him go, I think 3 years ago now. And we our veterinarian, she's retired now, but our veterinarian, who is also a very good friend of mine, and Sam's now, she let us bury him at her ranch.
Aww.
And so he's buried at her ranch with a tree on top. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And he was the inspiration for
me
to start all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He is the reason that I wanted to do this. Because so many animals are forgotten. They can't do for themselves. They don't have a voice. They don't, we put them in situations where they should never be. We domesticated these poor beings, and now look what we're doing to them.
Yeah. And then, so for people that aren't familiar, because I'm learning a lot about this now too, right? But so you mentioned, it's like most people see the horse. So you work a lot with horses. I don't know that we mentioned that too many details, but so most people like see the horse in value of like what it can do for them, right? They see it as a working animal.
Yes.
And then a lot of people come to find out that like once that purpose is served, then all of a sudden it's just like, well, if I can't do anything with him, if he can't be a benefit, he or she can't be a benefit to me. Yes. And then they typically will send them to auction.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. So maybe back up just a little bit. So we primarily what we do is we're an equine rescue. So we rescue horses, donkeys, and mules.
And chickens and birds and cows.
However, and if there's an animal in need, if there's a sick animal, we don't turn them away. They come and they live with us, and we do what we need to do to help them, right? But our main focus is the horses, donkeys, and mules from the kill lot, from the slaughter. I almost did it again.
We are prepared.
From the slaughter pipeline, right? Yeah. So for most people, they don't know that people eat horses, which is fine. People eat all animals, right? Which is fine. Here's the problem, though. In the United States, between 2007, 2010-ish, the slaughterhouses in the United States closed down, right? So
regulations and all that stuff.
Yes.
I'm assuming. Okay.
slaughtering horses is no longer illegal or no longer legal in the U.S.
Right.
Which is great, right? Like, totally for that. But what they didn't think about was export. We're connected to two countries who are known for horse slaughter: Canada and Mexico. On our side of the country, they typically go down to Mexico because it's closer. On the other side of the country, they go up to Canada because it's closer. So rather than being able to take these animals directly to the slaughterhouse or whatever, there's kill pins. And what those are is the kill buyers, the registered kill buyers, right? They have to be registered with the state and all that stuff, I guess. So they have these kill pins where they buy up a bunch of horses, sick, lame, broken legs, whatever. They don't care. They just buy up all these horses for real cheap. And then they hold them in these kill pens. And when they get enough, I don't know, 100, we'll say, I don't know, to stuff in a trailer to make the trip all the way down to Mexico. Then they take them down to Mexico and they sell them for slaughter. Now, one of the main problems is in this whole process, many of them are hurt. Many of them are literally starving to death.
Yeah.
Literally starving to death. And a good portion of them are sick. And they don't get medical care.
So they're just suffering.
Yeah,
until...
they're suffering until they're brutally killed, right? Like, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about the actual process in Mexico, but they don't have regulations.
Right.
I mean, I was stupid and I watched a video.
It's like you've seen enough.
I watched a video and I will never do that again.
Yeah.
And it's brutal, right? And so what we do is we go to the kill lot and we get them from there. When we go to the kill lot, we get the worst off ones. We want the ones who we know are going to die, most likely. We want the ones who just are hopeless, right? Most rescues really appreciate the ones that you can rehome.
Yeah, once you can rehabilitate a bit and
generate some sort of income. We don't. We occasionally have the adoption, because we have some horses that are adoptable.
Because you guys take such good care of them and they were on their way to the kill lot and you guys nurtured them back to health and now they're beautiful, thriving animals ready for whatever.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
But
that's not what you aim for.
Right. They can live with us forever.
Yeah.
We don't care. Right now we have over 100 horses, donkeys and mules, and almost all of them came from the kill lot, with the exception there's a couple of BLM horses, a few BLM donkeys, which for those of you who don't know what a BLM horse or donkey is, it's a wild horse, wild donkey that has went through the Bureau of Land Management and so forth. In large numbers, they end up in the kill lot. Mm-hmm. They are captured, sold.
Yeah, because they're unhandled. Unhandled, so that they've never been led by a person, touched by a person.
Yep.
And so a lot of people then just presume to hey, they're not of worth because we can't do anything with them.
Yeah. And then they end up in the kill lot, and then they end up, in another country being slaughtered, that sort of thing. And so, really, it's gross. It's gross. And so we spend thousands and thousands of dollars every year just to make these horses feel better, right? That is our goal. And at the end of the day, and I may get some pushback about this, but I don't care. We're likely the only ones who have done right by those horses, right? Those horses, they ended up there somehow.
Yeah.
Right? We will go there and get a horse just to euthanize it that same day.
But at least you do it.
That is what should have been done in the first place. But instead of pay a few $100s to euthanize a horse, the person is opting to make $100,
Yeah.
right? And so, and at some level, makes sense, right? On some level, and thinking about morals and ethics, I don't get it.
No.
I don't get it.
Right. Like, especially if the animal is sickly and it's going to die anyway, like, why torture it for an extra, like, month by the time it gets to where it needs to go? And, like, you know,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Let
So
it
you guys
go.
provide like a gentle, like, just loving, like, hospice care for however long.
Yep. Hospice and palliative care.
Yeah.
They can live with us for a couple of hours, which we've had that, or for years. You know, some of these horses can live a very long life on a daily pain medication, you know, and they just can't be ridden. They can't be worked. And, you know, they're just there. They just exist the way nature intended them to do. They just exist.
Yeah.
So
I've spent some time around, obviously, like, the horses at the sanctuary, and then some of the horses that Nicole has. And I've never been like this involved with a horse before. So, like, I think Nicole makes fun of me because I'm like, I come up with all these things like, did you know? And she's like, oh, yeah. But I'm like, I'm new to it, you know? But they're like big dogs.
yeah, they can be.
They really are. Like, I mean, hers the other day was just like rolling around in the dirt in front of me, like, just having a grand old time. And both of those horses, did they come from your rescue? That was in a different one. Okay.
No, Nicole, I'm not sure where she got them, but essentially they were rescues.
Same, yeah, similar thing. Like, they were,
Yeah.
I think, old ranch horses, no longer valued because one was lame, the other one has spinal issues, that it can't ride.
I think their story is a little bit more gross, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's not fun. But they're like the happiest horses, just you know, roaming the pasture.
Yeah, and you know, a horse's worth isn't and shouldn't be in how much you can ride it or how hard you can work it, or no. They're you know, they're living beings. They feel, you know, just like everybody else, you know, and they provide so much more beyond the riding and the work. You know, we use horses in therapy. We use horses to prepare for work or education, or, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, just because they're banged up a little bit doesn't mean nothing.
Right.
You know, I'm banged up. Nobody's gonna send me, you know.
Right. What is it that you love the most about horses?
I don't know. I've never been asked that question. They're just, I don't know.
Beautiful creatures.
They're just there. They're just amazing. They make you feel good. They smell really good. Like, the smell is amazing.
Yeah. My experience with them so far, but again, I'm not the expert here, but they come across as very, like, emotional animals.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. You know, they have the same emotions that we do. They make the same connections that we do. Like at the sanctuary, they create their own families, you know, and so they're not that different than we are. Mm-hmm. You know, we're all animals. They're just
bigger and hairier.
Yeah. They're prey. We're not. You know, and so yeah, they're amazing creatures.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned therapy for the horses and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you're well, I don't know what your official title is, right? But you offer some therapy for humans.
Yep.
But you're also looking to expand that and, you know, work some therapy in with the horses at the sanctuary with different organizations.
Yes. So I'm a licensed professional counselor, a licensed addictions counselor in Colorado. I have a private practice. It's called Equibalance Counseling. And starting this year, I'll be working on programming to where I can do some equine therapy with some of our horses that don't have jobs, right? We know that horses heal, and we also heal the horses. And so I have this, you know, I have a history You know, I have a history,
Mhm.
and you know, and the horses really is what healed me, um, and I want them to be able to do that for other people. Now, the caveat to that is I have this real desire to work with the underserved populations.
Mhm.
You know, I work with everybody, and you know, I like everybody, and the underserved populations don't tend to have opportunities for
Yeah.
alternative therapies like this because it's expensive.
Right.
And so, through the programming that we're trying to create, I want to offer this for free. Offer free therapy for people who can't afford something like this. In our area, it can cost upwards of like $150 an hour, you know,
For therapy. Yeah.
Mhm. And so
Not everyone has that.
I
Most
couldn't,
people,
yeah, I couldn't
actually.
afford it. No way.
like nowadays, most people can't.
Yeah.
You know, and so many people are like in need of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one of the goals for this year is to be able to start that. And we'll see what happens. Right now, we do provide opportunities for folks, and we have a few youth that come out. They volunteer, they work with the horses, they clean pens, you know, stuff like that, and it's really changed their life. You know, they're all neurodivergent,
Mhm.
and so just the difference that the horses have made in their lives is incredible, and I just want everybody to be able to experience that.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. Like I mean, mental health in general, like
Mm-hmm.
animals and
Mm-hmm.
animal connection is always good, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
have like, you know, as basic as like the not basic, it's not basic, but the service animals, you know, that like help people like for
Mm-hmm.
medical and emotional support. You know, the people that actually need it,
Yep.
not just the ones that fake it. Um, get your dog on a plane and it
Right.
wags its tail at everybody. It's not a service animal anyway.
Right. No.
I digress. But like having that connection and helping. Like, so my son battled severe depression when he was a teenager, and unfortunately, I lived in an area where I could not get him a horse.
Yeah.
But I did get him a cat, and just
Mhm.
having like an animal to care for him and an animal to then also like, you know, that needed caring for, like really helped him like kind of refocus the his like mental state. You
Yeah.
know, like if he worked up, the cat, you know,
Yeah.
the connection. It's
Yeah.
just beautiful to have that someone else.
It's all about connection.
Yeah.
It's all about connection. You know, people need connection. I mean, we're herd animals, right? We really are.
Yeah.
And so are horses. But there's nothing in the rules that say that we can't be a herd together.
Yes.
You know, and so I really just want to be able to provide that for people.
Yeah. And one of the biggest things stopping you from that, of course, is especially if you want to do it all for free.
Right.
Bill's got to get paid somehow. The horse has got to eat
We
somehow.
gotta eat.
So funding
Mhm.
is a big deal. Now, the Friends of Lackota Animal Sanctuary is a nonprofit, right? Registered nonprofit.
We're a 501c3 nonprofit.
Perfect. And I do have the website scrolling around. I love that feature. The little ticker bar at the bottom. So if you guys want to check it out, you definitely can do that. But so, you know, we talked a little bit before on the cost of even maintaining like what you currently have.
Yeah.
Right. And so right now you said you have, do you know, like the full inventory? You have 104 horses.
We have 108 horses, and horses, donkeys, and mules, and all in all, I think we're right around 200 animals, including ducks and chickens, and turkeys, dogs, cats. I don't even know what else. Goats and sheep and llamas and alpacas.
Oh yeah.
You know, those are the llamas and alpacas are new, but
and the chickens will continue to grow if you keep going to Murdoch's. So if any of you are local to this part of Colorado, him and Sam will go to Murdoch's and they rescue the sickly chickens that are for sale that they know no one is going to buy, and they know they're going to pass away, and they bring them to the sanctuary so that they can live their lives. And your chicken population has grown immensely in the last few weeks.
Immensely. It's that time of year where everybody wants chickens.
Yeah.
You know, and Chicks, they can be pretty sensitive, and we see them. They don't look great. They are sickly, or they're not moving around. We buy them. We take them home, and I think we've gotten 30 this year that way, and only 2 have died.
That's beautiful.
And so
sickly under those conditions, and again, a little love and care and food, and
yeah,
and they're fine.
And they free roam. They
And
free range all. I mean, they have access to 200 acres.
they love
have-
life.
They love life. We have very few predators because we have so many donkeys. The donkeys keep the coyotes away, stuff like that. And so, really, they're living the life.
Yeah. So all of those chickens, because we're going to be talking about like the monetary, like the funding and stuff that the sanctuary does need. But one of the things that you do have to offer currently is a lot of eggs.
Oh, we do have a lot of eggs. Yes, we do have a lot of eggs. Like a lot of eggs.
If you're looking for some eggs and you're in the area and you really want to help support a beautiful human being, and your husband is too, and what you guys are working towards, you do sell those eggs, right?
We do, yeah.
Have you guys set like a price for a carton, or we're doing kind of like donation basis?
It's on a donation basis, right? But
do $20 no.
$1 million. No, typically people give $5, and which is fine.
So if you guys also have, empty cartons,
that's
that you can donate, that would be fabulous, because there's a lot of eggs. I have the bucket for you from the eggs that you gave us the last time we went there too.
Nice.
So we'll be able to fill that. But sorry. So back to the core of that conversation was that, all these animals and all this beautiful work that you do to give them like a happy, loving place to just live out their lives, and however they choose, however long they choose.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it takes a lot of funding. So you and your husband do work full time.
Both of us.
And you run the sanctuary
full time.
And full time, yeah. So there's not a lot of hours for sleep in there.
No.
And it's mostly you and him that do the work, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a board of directors, but you have also some, volunteers, but a lot of the stuff you guys do yourselves. We
do the daily care ourselves. Any emergencies, we do ourselves. We have volunteers that come on Mondays, and we have a few sporadic volunteers who will come out for a couple hours here and there. But day in, day out, it's us. Snow, wind, it's incredible. Snow, wind, it doesn't matter. We have to make sure everybody is taken care of. Everybody's got their medicine. Everybody is safe, and that's what we do.
No days off.
Nope.
Yeah. No. And so we're, with 108 horses plus.
Yeah.
The cost of maintaining that to make sure that everyone gets fed. And they have what they need, which is, not much. I mean, not much. I mean, I say not much, but it is a lot. But, beyond that, it's like mostly food, shelter, and medicine when they need it.
Yep.
And, physical labor of the people that are helping to, manage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so monthly right now, we're talking about that costs anywhere from.
So monthly, just on hay, forage. We're spending right around $10,000 a month.
Just for hay.
Just for hay. That's it. Yeah. Just for hay.
I'm like, watch every strand of hay go by, and I'm like, no, come back.
Yes.
Try to save all of it.
Yes. So we go through about a semi-load and a half every month, and a semi-load of hay. I believe we're paying right now like $6,800 for. And so we have an amazing hay supplier with the Wellington Hay Company. Brody takes very good care of us. And, they also adopted a couple mules, which is great.
Perfect.
They're right around the corner, and, we get to see them. And so they take very good care of us, and they make sure our horses are fed. And we're very grateful for that. And so,
And that's like baseline
baseline.
what you need.
Yep.
Right. And obviously, yeah, hay and water. They gotta eat.
Hay and water.
Yeah. So if you guys want to help out in any way and help support, I mean, ideally, you know, we'd love to get you guys where you have this fund for the hay like a year out, so you didn't have to worry about it, because right now it's, you know, sometimes it's on a month-to-month basis, right? Where like 1 month you don't know how it's gonna work, and
there's been a few times over the last, we'll say 6 months, a few times where we didn't know if it was going to even happen, you know, and on a wing and a prayer. I don't know where the hay just keeps coming from, you know, but
keep it coming.
$10,000 a month is a lot of money to keep going. I don't even make that a month at my job, you know, and so it just keeps happening, you know, and it really would be nice to know where that's going to come from.
Yeah, at least a few months out. Give yourself a little room to breathe.
Yes.
Because beyond the hay, you know, again, we mentioned this is a lot of it is hospice care, right? A lot of them are end of life, so and a lot of them are sick, so there's a lot of medical care that you have to also include in that.
Yes. So there we have a lot of horses with like Cushing's disease, so they get medication, which is ungodly expensive. And we have a good amount of horses that are on daily pain medication. And with just those 2 medications, they're fine, right? They're fine.
And if I can interject there for the story for Olivia, so the day that I met you, you
Olivia.
had Olivia in the stall because she was battling severe. I mean, she has she has severe Cushing's disease. And she was kind of like cornered off in her stall, and she could barely walk. She was really having a rough time, and it was so sad to see. And you could tell she was trying, just constantly like the thirst is from the Cushing's, right? Because they're like constantly dehydrated.
Yes, she was drinking 50 gallons of water a day.
And she was looking really rough. That's and you really did. So we like pulled her out of the barn, and you really thought that maybe that was going to be, at least she could be out in the air, and you know, you thought that might be her time, because she was having such a hard time, and you were able to provide her with the medicine.
Yes. And
then you showed me the video today, and she's like, she's roaming. You said she even ran from you.
I went to catch her, and she ran from me, and I was like, we're here now, I guess.
But that's the importance and the beauty of having that medical care, right? Like, I mean, me not knowing any different, I thought that was it for her too, you know, and to see that now she's feeling better and
she's doing good.
Yeah.
She's doing good. She's old, probably late 20s. She's old, but she still has a purpose.
Yeah.
Right? She's not done. The fact that she ran away from me, she's not done.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got a little fight left in her.
The injectable medication that we give to her, she gets 1 ml every 2 weeks, and a 5 ml bottle. It costs $600.
Oh my gosh.
$600. And so we have 3 animals on the injectable medication. So every 3 months, we're spending $1,500 that month just on that one medication.
Wow.
The other ones who have Cushing's disease, they take the pill form, which is also ungodly expensive. It's a labor of love. We do it because it's the right thing to do, and you know, in some cases, we're the only ones who have ever loved them.
Yeah,
you know?
And they can totally sense that.
Yeah.
All those animals there, like I see, like, you know, walking down the path, and like they're all perking their ears up, they're all paying attention. You know, they sense that for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the moment when they're trying to run away from you,
right?
But generally they sense that.
Well, I'd rather them run away from us than to not be able to move at all.
Right. It'd be like the one horse, maybe not one, but one of few horse owners that gets excited when the horse runs away. Be like, oh, it's running.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
We're brewing.
Yes.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, because you know, when they lay down and don't want to get up, it's time. Last year we euthanized 68 horses and donkeys together, and for most rescues that would be a really high number, but not for us, because that is what we do.
Yeah.
We provide a service that not many other rescues will want to provide. It's sad, it's expensive, and it sucks, right?
Mhm.
Like at the end of the day, it sucks, you know. But it's so fulfilling to us that we can do that. And when we started out, that wasn't our plan. We just wanted to be like everybody else, you know, get this horse, rehab it, you know, adopt it. But we quickly realized that there
There's
was
more need.
this gap in service, and so we're really trying to fill that gap so that our rescue partners don't have to. And of course, we're not going to rescue them all. We can't. We tried. We can't.
You would if you could.
Last winter, we were taking care of 170.
Mm.
Excuse me. It wasn't sustainable. It was us. It was us twice a day, and the winter was hard. Got a lot of snow. It was hard. We'll
Yeah.
never do that again. But what we can do, you know, and of course, we're not going to change the world. We're not going to change how the slaughter system works. We're not going to change that. But what we can do is we can change it for the horses that we can change it for.
Yeah.
And to us, that's a huge win.
Right. And so being at 108 now, obviously that's kind of, even that is still high, right? I think your ideal number would be like 70, 75.
Yes.
Right. So maybe
That's
like
our,
more manageable.
That's our limit.
Right. So I also hear about how you and Sam both have an issue with saying no
Yeah.
to animals. So do you just stay away from the kill lots? And yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you would come home with 20 more and
Yeah.
then you go back to the.
For a while, we were taking in 10 a week.
Wow.
10 a week. And, you know, they were dying and, you know, that sort of thing. And it's fine. If they're dying or if they're being euthanized, that's okay. But right now, we have a steady number of horses, donkeys, mules that are not ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't add to. We've gotten better at saying no because we're getting tired, rightfully so. We've gotten better. We've turned down probably 50 in the last month. People asking us if we rescue this horse, will you take it? That sort of thing. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, we just can't.
Well, plus also now, if you're looking at, especially like the cost of maintaining what you have now, like bringing one in could take away from one that you have now, since you guys are on a tight. Yeah.
So, you know, over the last year and a half, lessons have been learned, really hard lessons. And I think every rescue to some degree learns those lessons at some point. So right now we're sitting where we're sitting, and hopefully we'll get down to the number that is more comfortable.
Yeah. Well, you do have some that could potentially be adoptable as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
With some of those, again, that you've now kind of rehabbed by, again, love, some time and some medicine. And, you know, they no longer need that hospice care. So they are adoptable.
Yes. So another issue is unhandled horses, right? Nobody wants a horse you can't do anything with. Nobody wants a horse that's going to kill you, right? And so
they are big and strong,
right? These horses end up in the kill lot, right? Because people failed them to begin with. So these unhandled horses ship at an alarming rate out of the country. We have a lot of them. I don't know how we ended up with a lot of them, but we have a lot of them. And they're all sound. None of them are sick. They can all be ridden. They can all be used, you know.
They just need to be trained.
Yes, they just need to be trained. The problem there is it costs around $1,000 a month for training, and that's on the cheap side, right? And we'll never be able to recoup that amount of money in an adoption fee. So, you know, we work on these horses ourselves. A lot of them, we'll let you pet them now, which is a huge step.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have these horses for adoption once they're able to be handled. So we probably have 25 of just those ones.
That are already like ready. already. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So we need to do like can we do like an adoption event? Or do you prefer one-on-one?
Adoption can be very sketchy.
Mm.
You know, our biggest thing is once they leave our property, there's no guarantee. You know, even though we take the proper steps, good steps to ensure, you know, we stay on their what's called a brand inspection, which is like the equivalent to a title, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you have the right to remove but you have to know that there's a problem,
right,
to be able to remove them.
Right, and you know, once they leave our property, we don't know, and so we do a pretty thorough home check, a pretty, you know, if we get any kind of ick, we won't do it. I don't care if the person has $10 million or if it's ick, we won't do it.
Love that.
And so they can just stay where they're at, and eventually they have their soft landing now. And if they find an even softer one, great.
Yeah.
If they don't,
then you're prepared to just have them with you and
yeah. Yep.
Beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
So the horses, so you do have some adoptables. So if anyone wants to get more information on that,
yep,
their contact information is on the website.
Yep.
You can also add things in the comments. Any questions you guys have while you're, checking this out, we'll keep an eye on those comments and we'll reply anything to you. But everything you pretty much need to know is on the website.
Right.
Because we've talked about like the cost of your just normal operation.
Yeah.
Right. Which is probably roughly about like $15,000 a month if you're counting like medical care and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the weather lately, with all of the winds, you lost a couple of shelters.
You
guys
did.
are in the need of shelters for the horses too.
We did. We need over the last year we've lost a few, and recently 2 weeks ago we lost a couple more. All in all, I would say we need to replace and build probably 10, 12 more, so that we have adequate shelter for everybody. Although they don't use it, they look at it, but they don't go in it. We like to give them the option,
Yeah.
So
yeah, at least especially if they're like not fans of rain or something, then they can go and hide from that.
Right.
But so the shelters obviously is I wonder if because I see like just from talking to you, I'm seeing just like dollar signs, and I wonder if that's just like your day to day. Like
that's a day to day. It's all about dollars.
Water spills out of the bucket, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
But so shelters obviously like come at a cost.
Yeah.
Ideally, it would be like a one-time purchase, like built correctly and to withstand the weather elements and things like that. So we're talking probably how much for.
Yeah, so if we built it ourselves, meaning myself and Sam and our
local volunteers, physical labor.
It cost around $1,300.
Okay.
Now, if we just went out and purchased one, a good one, probably $3,500
for the 12 or 11 that you need, right?
Each, yeah.
$3,500 each.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a much different number. I was wondering. I was like, oh, we can get that raised real quick.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a probably another like $15,000-$20,000 for the shelters.
Yeah.
We should really do like a raise event.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So like today, if anyone's watching this, go to the website, donate what you can.
Yeah. See
how much we can raise and help get some of those shelters in, and then just keep spreading the word. Spread this website and who Thom is and his husband Sam and the beautiful work that they do, and as many people as you can, and see if we can get some money raised. That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
And
we'd greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, and even long term. So one of the things too that a lot of people maybe not realize, if maybe the day-to-day person can't afford to donate any money, if they are interested in volunteering, if they're local, they can reach out to you potentially and see if there's some room in there to
you can reach out to us through Facebook. We have a Facebook page. It's Friends of Lackota Animal Sanctuary. Just reach out to us through Facebook, through the messenger, or on our website as well.
And it's not just like you get to go play with the horses.
No.
You get to see them, but it's like work. Like they need
Care.
They need care and they need
Mhm.
help, and there's a lot of pens to
Yeah.
clean and a lot of horses to feed.
Yeah.
And you do get a chance to see them.
Yeah. Get
And
a
the
chance
donkeys
to,
like kind of follow you around like as you walk around their pen. That's always cute.
yeah. You do get to interact with them, you know. We're not like those guys that are like, no, don't touch them, you know, that sort of thing. No. You do get to interact with them.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. Occasional grooming, you know, some of them come pretty bad and we don't have a lot of time to groom.
Some of them won't let you go anywhere near them.
Right.
You know.
We have a lot of wind, so their manes get tangled and they look awful. You know, so some of that needs to be brushed out, but at the end of the day, yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So.
And rearranging pens, you know, like when you're moving around horses and things like that. So there is a
Yes.
lot of like work involved and work needed.
Yes.
And I will say though, that's one of the things that I love, like, because even when I went to help, like, you are so good at like giving the backstory and like educating on like, it's like you can't help yourself. Like we were like doing like the one hay net, and you were like explaining to me, and you were like struggling to try to hold it, and I was like, Thom, like just let's work first, and then you can tell me like how it works and why. And I love that, and I love that you like are so open and willing to share like what it is that you're doing in the moment and like the purpose of it.
Yeah.
Which is so helpful.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you need both.
We're so used to doing everything by ourselves that I can do it and just talk. It's what it is. I usually do it in the dark by myself because, you know, I don't get home till dark, and, you know, so yeah.
You have like night vision now, like because you spend so much time out there in the dark.
Yeah, I'm an owl. You know? So yeah.
I love that. So all right, so ideally, we want to get you to. So we were talking about like 15,000, like just for a normal month, and then also, you know, some additional funds for emergency care, because you do get some horses sometimes where things happen very quickly, and like 1 month could be like more medical care than others.
Yeah. Well, right now, sometimes we have these like one-offs where an animal needs surgery or something like that. After we rescue it, we
oh, there was the one with the leg surgery, right?
Yeah, we realized, oh my God, now you need these surgeries, and so we rescued a baby back in December. We were going to euthanize it because his legs were not well, and so Dr. Bracken and her team came out. They're amazing. We love them. We love Dr. Bracken so much. She caught us on a day where we just couldn't do it, and she gave us two options: surgery or euthanasia, and we opted for the surgery. And the poor guy, at 4 months old, he had severe arthritis in his pastern joints, which is the joint right above the hoof, you know, that sort of thing. So needed to be kind of drilled out. The joint needed to be cleaned out and fused together, you know, plates in his leg and all that stuff. And we were able to get the first one done. He's healed great. He's feeling great. But now we're struggling to get the second one done. The cost is right somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000. And so, you know, those one-offs are a struggle.
Yeah. And what's his name?
Ren.
Ren?
Yeah, like Ren and Stimpy.
Love it. Wait, is he the one in the beginning of the barn that kind of like nips it?
Yes.
Yeah, if you walk by.
Yes. He used to be so sweet, and now he's a biter.
But he's happier, and he's got more spirit to him. So there is that.
Yeah. And once he has these surgeries, he'll be a normal horse.
Right.
We're told we could ride him. He can do whatever a normal horse can do, because that particular joint doesn't really do much anyway. It's just extremely painful when something goes wrong. And so, yeah, he's probably a lifer, because once he gets the other surgery, he's gonna be a $20,000 horse. So he's probably a lifer, but
investment for the sanctuary.
Yes.
He's gonna become the new mascot.
Yes.
Alongside
and he
Lackota.
Looks just like Lackota.
Oh,
he
does he?
Identical, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and when my sister said that, I was like, well, here we are. Looks like you're staying.
Because that was the day where you couldn't make that choice.
Yeah, and Sam loves him too.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really incredible that we can do this. You know, the little guy, wasn't even given a chance at life. He was weaned way too early.
Hmm.
Right after he was weaned, he was thrown in the kill lot,
Mm.
alone, getting beat up, until Sam went to pick up another horse, and they were like, "Here, take this one too." All right, and here we are.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And now it's been, how long have you had him?
Since December.
Yeah.
So,
And already he's on his way to healing.
he's different.
Yeah.
He's definitely different. So,
That's beautiful.
yeah.
For the medical care, I know you mentioned, what was your vet's name is
Dr. Bracken.
Bracken.
She's amazing, and we love her. We love her team at Colorado State University. Dr. Bracken, Dr. Bowen, Dr. Kiger, Dr. Nelson. Those are our peeps. They've always taken such good care of us, and we're very grateful.
And you do have like a bit of a relationship there, right? Where
Yeah.
so you help provide
Yeah.
some training grounds for their veterinary care program.
Yeah. So Dr. Bracken approached us quite a while ago. I don't know how long ago, quite a while ago, and asked us if we would be willing to allow them to use some of our horses for teaching purposes. Because a lot of students, even fourth year students, they've never been around horses before, and they're about to graduate from vet school. And we have just about every problem horse you could think of.
I was gonna say they get to see it like live.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so Dr. Bracken and her team will bring the students out about every 8 weeks and provide some veterinarian care for us. And we pay a tiny fee, $200 for the day, which is incredible. And it's a win-win. It's a win for the horses. It's a win for the students, and it's a win for us. Yeah. Dr. Bracken and her team, Dr. Nelson and his surgical team, they've been really great to us. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. The partnerships are great. And I know you said there's a couple other foundations that you like work with, or organizations that you
rescues. Yeah.
rescues.
We work really closely with the Hee Haw Halfway House, which is ran by our very good friend Rachel.
Such a cute name. I love that.
And she rescues donkeys, and she's a donkey trainer, and she's one of the greatest
Great
people.
branding.
Yeah, one of the greatest people we've ever met in our lives. And so we do work with other organizations when we can. We work a lot with Rachel. So. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I know we're wrapping up here. We could chat for
forever.
Yeah. But I do want to respect your time. Is there? Oh well. I'm going to ask a question, and then I'm going to talk about the funds we're looking to raise, and then come back to you so you have some time to formulate the answer. But if it's like last, most impactful words that you want to leave with everyone, either something from what you've learned about what you do, or even just from your practice, like some kind of lasting impact that you want to leave for like the audience, something for them to think about.
Yeah.
While you think about that. So the goal is ideally to have the annual raise of what it is that they need to run the sanctuary, right? Which we've, thrown out a bunch of numbers here, but that's around what, $250?
Yep. Last year, and we're working off of last year's budget this year again, since we're a little bit smaller. Last year's budget was right around $238,000.
It's a big number, but that's for a lot of horses. It's for a lot of horses, and it's for a lot of good, animals, I guess, too. All those chickens out there that are being saved.
So many chickens.
I just love that. You just can't say no to any of them, You have just such a good heart, you and Sam both, and it's beautiful. Yeah. And I know that if you had all the money in the world, that you guys would
sink it right back into them.
Everyone. Yeah, every single one of them, which is beautiful.
Yep.
So if you guys are looking to donate, someone that can donate, every little bit helps, obviously. I mean, we talked about, how much the hay costs, like just for them to, eat every month. And so, anything that you can donate, definitely check out the website. Follow him on social media, like help share the posts, like just to get the word out there. Cause I feel like the more people that would know, that the more that we can spread the word and really get people to help, then, to make your lives and what you guys do, which is so beautiful, like really supported.
Thank you.
I just love that. There's not enough
you.
people in the world that,
Care.
yeah, you literally just do it for love. Like
Yes.
there's no benefit, there's no profit, there's no other than you just genuinely love these animals and you want to give them, you know, the best possible end of life that they can possibly have.
We all deserve that.
Right.
We all deserve that. You know, and there's a quote. I have no idea who said it. I don't care because it's cool. But you know, in a world where you can be anything, be kind.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Be kind.
Yeah. Anyone and everyone.
Yep.
I love that. I can't top that. So donate. Go to the website. Thank you for joining me today, Thom. This is beautiful, and I can't wait to be more involved and try to help you guys out wherever I can.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on our episode. Check out the website, and I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. If you have any questions, comments, anything at all, you want to know more about something that he talked about, you want to know some more of the horses' names, you guys have also fabulous newsletter.
Yes.
That I saw you put together. Do you guys email that out as well?
We do.
Digital version.
I haven't figured out how, but we do. We just put one out 2 weeks ago. So
okay, which gives you a lot of like stories of like a lot of the animals.
Yep.
In there, so you guys can learn more about that. So if you're interested in that, just comment newsletter. We'll get it out to you. Again, any questions, definitely let us know. You guys have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you next week.
Cool. Thank you.